Hey friends, let's go on a Florida Gulf Coast adventure, starting with America's #1 rated beach.
We're at Siesta Beach, and it is hot.
So, does this place live up to the hype? It depends on how much you enjoy crowds, but the sand was undeniably powdery and the waves rolled in like glass. There were also a lot of amenities, including umbrella and chair rentals, and the ability to have food and drinks delivered to you at a designated location with an app. The heat eventually got to my mom, and she vandalized what will surely now become America's #2 rated beach. Leaving her to fend for herself, I decided to join my cousin Shuhan for a swim. Oh, it is cold. Oh, son of a bitch! Florida. You're like the Australia of America. You just never know what creatures are here. Gators, sharks, wallabies. Let's back out safely while we can. While you're in Sarasota, there's one other very worthwhile and truly unique attraction that I highly recommend. The John and Mabel Ringling Museum of Art, which is actually the official art museum of Florida. At the front is this glass pavilion, which showcases a rotating selection of works from a larger collection. On Mondays, you can visit this section of the Ringling for free, along with the art museum and bayfront gardens. You'll just need to register at the Visitors Pavilion. Now let's get to what makes this place truly unique. Greeted by this giant mural, you soon enter an immersive world with a 42,000-piece model depicting what it was like to be at the circus in the early 20th century. It might be hard to believe, but they had to move their entire Tented City production from town to town each day, which seems even harder to do on stilts. There's also an area for some interactive experiences.
They're dunking, just like in the old days.
Okay, I'm gonna try to hit the target. Pretty good. You can try standing on this horse or walking past this elephant. Shuhan tested out his high wire skills. I didn't make it quite as far.
Goodbye, world.
Don't worry, I'm quite okay. That's what we call acting.
This place is huge.
This wagon from 1911 welcomes you to another area of the Circus Museum, featuring this rail car that played a crucial role in the success of the Ringling family business. It's the same way I'm going to grow this channel. Let's move further down the wagon room. Check out the ultimate Florida Man road rage mobile. Oh, and this band gear, sweet! As if all of that weren't colorful enough, we're now making our way to my favorite part of the Ringling. This is the Kadzan, which is just a fancy Venetian way of saying House of John. This structure blends Italian Renaissance, Venetian Gothic, and other European styles into a 36,000 square foot mansion with 56 rooms. That seems excessive if you ask me. Still, pretty cool. If I had a lot of money, I'd also want the kind of floor that you can play chess on. Breakfast room? Yes. Bear in mind, this was only the Ringling's winter home. Now let's have a look around the outside of the mansion. I love Mediterranean architecture. Whoa. Moving on to the bayfront, if you happen to be getting married and have an extra $28,000 to $35,000 to spend, you can rent out the Kadzan Terrace for your wedding reception. But not if you're doing groceries that week, am I right? You said you saw a dolphin?
I did see a dolphin here.
Alright.
Pretty cool.
Let me see if I'll see one. This place is just amazing. Like, there's so much to see here. You could spend, I read on the internet, you could spend 6 to 8 hours here, and after coming here, I believe it. Unfortunately, we ran out of time to visit the art museum by the time the Ringling closed. I can only hope that you're as disappointed as I was. Let's head over the incredible Sunshine Skyway Bridge to St. Petersburg. No dogs allowed, you hear that, playa? Pass-a-Grille Beach is a local favorite for its chill vibe and beautiful sunsets. This is actually the very southern end of St. Pete Beach. If you want to stay out after sunset, the St. Pete Pier offers a very nice walking area. Honestly, just the rush of finding a parking spot here makes it worth the experience. We were here after Christmas, but St. Pete said there's no such thing, and the festivities carried on. So much of the fun in this area is connected to the water, and one of the big highlights is seeing the wildlife. There are a number of companies that offer dolphin tours in large groups, but we went with Salt and Mist Sea Tours because it offers a very reasonably priced small group tour. As it turned out, we had the whole boat to ourselves, guided by Captain Ridge. The potential advantage of a larger boat, especially at higher speeds, might be that it would create a wider wake that draws dolphins to follow along. But regardless, once we got further out into the bay, we were delighted with a marvelous spectacle. From dolphins to Dali.
Fountain of Youth. Hell yeah, brother.
Just behind the Fountain of Youth, countering my enthusiastic acceptance of myth as fact, is scientific evidence that the fountain might not work. I really enjoyed the architecture of the Dali. According to the museum's website, this building has 18-inch thick hurricane-proof walls and a geodesic glass bubble made of 1,062 triangular pieces, all of which will surely melt away at some point. The museum features surrealist art from Dali and other artists, works such as Beaker from the Muppets, Twisted Sister, My Girl Got a Big Ol' Booty, and Abraham Lincoln. Beyond the more traditional art forms, there are some very interesting interactive experiences. Okay, who set this giraffe on fire? Oh, you walked right past the fire extinguisher. A+ for stoic resolve though. Proving once again, it's not about what happens to you, but how you react to it. There's also a virtual world fashioned after the dreamlike scenery and symbolism of Dali's works that you can navigate with a headset, and the Dali Dome, a 39-foot-tall 360-degree immersive art experience. We were dazzled by a show featuring the story and paintings of Vincent van Gogh set poignantly to famous works of classical music. Next, we head to Fort DeSoto State Park, which TripAdvisor deemed the #1 beach in the US in 2009. You'll see why in just a moment. After a quick stop at the East Beach section of the park, we went to the North Beach area for a better vantage point for watching the sunset. What unfolded was an experience that felt almost surreal. What struck me was that the most beautiful sunsets don't happen in clear skies. They need the presence of clouds. I think there's a profound lesson in that, and that lesson is, don't forget to like and subscribe, y'all! Before we end this video, I absolutely have to show you one more experience you have to try if you visit the Florida Gulf Coast during the winter. Pushing this red button, and also swimming with manatees. There are a number of companies you can select to facilitate your swim. We went with Birds Underwater and had an excellent experience. A covered boat takes you closer to the spring, and after parking, you swim to an area with clearer water. I'll speed up the action till we get to the area. There are some important rules to follow for interacting with manatees and navigating the water, such as moving as gently as possible and not touching the bottom of the river with your feet or fins. And doing so makes snorkeling all the more challenging if you have a camera that you have to hold. I highly recommend a mounted or strapped camera to free both hands for proper swimming. Like me, these guys are very sensitive and can sense your heartbeat from several feet away. As exciting as it might be to see them, try to stay calm, because an overly elevated heartbeat can scare them away. When swimming with manatees, be sure not to touch them, chase after them, swim above them, or make them feel cornered. If they interact with you, let it be their choice. Big shout out to our guide Heidi, who went out of her way to help Shuhan and me move to the right locations and get the best views possible. We end today's journey with a segment called Travel-Sized Tales, miniature stories for people on the go who want to enjoy literature, but not too much. Jimmy demanded double pay as both a mime and a tightrope artist who performed a harrowing walk at ground level. The circus manager mimed giving him more money. Later, Gators.